Who are you?
I'm Beckie Cato.
Okay.
I'm a land
Thank
use
you.
planner, and I'm representing the property owner, Kevin Dunnam, and I'll be presenting the rezoning at the planning board and the board of county commissioners meeting. We are asking for R2 development across the street, and I'll explain that more in a little bit. So those of you that got the letter that says R3, I'm going to call the county tomorrow and correct that. So that was an error. Welcome.
What is this gonna be zoned?
This is already zoned R3, but we would like to
How did it
keep-
get R3?
It's what it was originally zoned. We'd like
No.
to.
However, it's for medical use. According to the county paperwork, this is a medical hospital use.
It is a use, and there's a difference between use and zoning.
Correct.
Okay, do we still have more people?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tell you, I hate for so many to be lost.
Well, it's not quite
Okay.
6:30, we got 5 minutes.
I'll answer your question, everybody.
I'm sorry, who are you?
My name's Kevin Dunnam. This is Johnny Jernigan. We're partners on this property. We bought this property and the property across the street and the building at 1830. We would love to keep this property just the way it is with your support. We need your support.
For what?
To maintain obviously we're here to get the property rezoned across the street, and we want to do 12 very high-end 2,700 square foot townhomes. They all have elevators. They're very, very high-end. They're all going to access, instead of having driveways out here on Hickory Shores to create problems, you're going to come in from Hickory Shores in the back. So everything will be accessed back here.
Wait a minute, from here, what are we talking about? They would have to come down Hickory Shores Drive, make a right-hand turn onto Hickory Shores Boulevard.
No, man, the beacon is up here.
Okay.
Okay, here's
Okay.
98. So
That's
you're coming down here and you're taking a right
Okay.
into the property. And you're accessing it not from Hickory Shores, but behind there. Okay?
Okay.
That's right in front of my house.
Yeah, back behind.
That's right in
Between
front of
that
my house.
abandoned subdivision or whatever that is over
Oh,
there.
yeah,
You know
his
that
Noakes.
one?
His Noakes. That was supposed to be, they wanted the townhouses and it was shot down.
Good, good for him.
So was it 27 you said, units?
No, there's 12
Literally,
units here.
that drive is
That's
gonna
all-
go
that's all
into
we
is
want.
right in front of my house.
700 square feet.
Oh, that's what I heard, excuse me.
So, in order for us to be able to, we really want to maximize this property. We want to keep the integrity of the property. We don't want to be invasive. We want this to be a place where people can come, where you can invite your families on vacation to come perhaps, stay here for individuals or couples. To come stay here, you can look at the rooms, they're open. And there's 6 rooms here and there's 5 over here. And we're just going to renovate those. Now, the alternative would be to come in here and lease it to a medical company. And I've got 2 people in South Florida that want to do that. But I'm not sure that you want that kind of clientele here. But that's entirely.
It's what we've had for the last number of years.
So
Right.
what kind of medical? Yeah.
Well, that's I'm not going to get into that. But that's the.
Why not?
Well, because I'm not the one delivering the service. So I have
Well, you're
absolutely
trying
no
to
idea.
convince us, so we need to know.
You're saying 12 rooms, by the way, that Santa Rosa County, to have a facility where people can come in and stay in this type of area has to be 10 rooms or less.
10 rooms or less.
Yes, 10 rooms or less, that's the county.
Let me ask you
code.
this: Would you like this property right here to be, ultimately, what we'll have to do is make a decision on whether we're going to tear everything down, trees and everything, and build residential. Would y'all like that?
Well, you're residential on one, little less than 2 acres here. You would be able to put, how many houses? 8 houses.
No, you can go up. You have to go up.
This property is
It's
zoned
already
R3.
zoned.
It's already
But
zoned.
it's
already.
R3 medical use.
It's
Yeah. The
Okay,
county,
Becky,
the county doesn't.
talk about zoning.
yeah, the county doesn't have a zoning category that limits to medical use.
That's what
So,
it's as right now.
That's what the existing use map
Correct.
shows, and so existing for many years has been,
Before that, it was residential.
yes,
And when they,
yeah. So let me-
when
yes.
they turned it over to the Catholic Church, I don't know if
Yeah.
the Catholic Church bought it or they donated it to them, But anyway, it was to stay R1. It was never to be able to go commercial.
Well, the,
And if the zoning has been changed, it's been changed illegally.
well, for whatever reason, this property that we're on right now is R3. The property across the
How'd they
street.
get R3?
I don't know that. Well, I'll look into that, but I don't. I'll look
I
into
would,
that.
yes, I
Okay.
want to know.
I'll
As
look
of
into that.
1989, it's R3.
But the property across the street is R1. So this property is R3, and they're allowed to do this kind of a medical facility in R3. But the other thing they can do any kind of residential in R3. It's the highest density residential category the county has. And so they can go up to 18 units per acre. And R3 also has the biggest height limit of any residential zoning district in the county, and they could do 50 feet. So
3 stories, 4 stories.
yeah, 3 or 4 stories. So they could do that on this property, but they don't want to. They'd really, really rather respect the history of this property and the gorgeous layout and these beautiful trees and this beautiful view. But instead of offering it to residents of a medical facility in this location, it would be offered to vacationers to rent out the rooms, and there would be 11 of those rooms on this property.
Gotta be less than 10.
Well, we'll talk to county about that. But
I already have.
okay, but so to pick 11 or 12, 10 or 11.
State says
Let me
15
say-
or less.
okay.
County says under 10.
Okay, I'll say 10 or 11. And so we'll talk to the county about that. But regardless, we're not even looking to do a whole lot of units for that type of use. So it'd be a very small type of vacation rental, if you will. There will be on-site management.
When you
And-
say on-site, do you mean they
Lives
will
here.
live here?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
So they become a resident of your neighborhood, and with an interest in keeping the property up to standards.
Is that 24-hour on site?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, they would live
They
here.
would
There'll be a man and a woman here living.
So you
Someone
realize that
keep-
that is
Okay,
the
but
definition of a bed and
They
breakfast.
have to have time off. So when they're off, who's in charge?
They live on site now.
No, so if you're renting throughout the whole year, let's say, and your management wants to go to Aruba for 2 weeks, who's gonna be here if they're out of?
Someone will be here. I'm not gonna leave the property.
Yeah,
They-
someone
that's-
will be here.
that
Then-
Obviously,
That's what you were asking.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, parking is a very good question.
Yeah, I was
because-
getting to that one.
Yeah. Because of course, parking historically has been across the street, and we'd like to use that for residential. So, ideally, they will be parking in this general area. So we may
4
have to
max on the street.
modify.
4 max on the street.
Okay, we'd have to
Should park
modify
back over here,
this.
across the street.
So this plan shows 12 units, but it's likely to be less than that because we do have to account for parking on this side. We want to, the two don't work unless they work together.
Right.
We're not able to keep the impact low on this property. It's a very valuable piece of property, and it has one of the highest density zonings in the county.
So if you got
To-
comfortable, excuse me, Becky, if
Go
you
ahead.
got comfortable with,
As a medical facility, it's fine.
Here's the difference.
okay,
Okay, how many cars you think drove out here for this medical facility every day? You got any idea?
no,
They haul people out here and put them in here.
it's
You don't
very
drive out here. If you could drive, you wouldn't be in here. Okay, so the traffic wasn't the problem. The people weren't the problem. They had them locked in. So it's not the same. This is a young penitentiary right here. That's what was going on here.
Yeah.
You know, they were printing money down here, and now the government decided they're not gonna pay for it anymore, so that's the reason they went out of business.
Which is sad, but
Oh, that's
so
not sad, that's just business.
it is.
But
It's
his
just-
point, the main
so
point
is
is
the-
there was no traffic.
But the
Yeah, I
thing
understand.
is,
I don't know why that you think that this would increase any traffic.
We've got 10 to 15 units in one cars,
No,
it's 20
no,
cars.
10 to 15, I didn't ever, where did you get 15?
Well, because I counted the number of doors with numbers on them.
So if you had 10 cars parked across the street, you think that would be a big issue? You had 10
The
units?
traffic of it,
Yes,
sure.
with this road and the way it floods, yes, it
Okay,
floods
well,
this
so do
way
you
and it
think
floods
18 units right here with 18 people living here, do you think that's gonna increase the traffic?
Sure.
Permanent
Two
resident?
cars per unit, and anybody that brings an RV with them or a towable of some kind. You have
See, here's the
yeah.
thing, there's guidelines, you can eliminate all of that. There are things, you can put restrictions, the people that come here, they're restricted to what they can do.
You can.
You can, but will you? If that is-
Absolutely.
But what assurances do we have that you would do?
None. As soon as he gets paid, he's out of here.
No, I'm not out of here, I'm here, I'm gonna retire out here, you're gonna be my neighbors.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna build a pier, I'm not gonna build a pier.
But you can, according to the
I can't, I'm not gonna build a pier, it's a liability.
How many people would be able to stay in one of the 10 rooms?
What, you wanna walk over here and look at them, they're open right there.
They're small.
Two people can stay in one room,
Okay,
that's
so
it.
it's just a double occupancy?
Only a single or a double, that's it. One person or two in a room, that's it, period. It's short.
Getting my fan.
Yeah, thank you very much. I
So would
appreciate
they
it.
have any background done on them
No.
or anything to verify?
There'll be an Airbnb, they'll book it online. Nobody will know who they are, what they are.
No, there's vetting with Airbnb, if you're familiar with it. 'Cause
Yes, I am.
I have an Airbnb behind my house, and it's very controllable, it's very manageable.
You're also not 15 feet off the road on this entire front building, just letting you know.
Well, it's grandfathered in, I appreciate
No, I
that.
did call, like I said, I had been in contact with the county, and you would have to get a variance of which we would have to approve as neighbors, too.
Well, this span here is not 15 feet off the road, it's probably about 150.
No, I'm talking about the front building that goes across.
I don't want to do anything with the front
I
building.
understand, but you're gonna have to, because you're not 15 feet off the road.
I'm not going to move that building, I don't think I have to do that, it's already there. It's grandfathered in. I'm not gonna move it.
Not according
So
to the
back to
county.
the traffic issue. So you're talking about,
What we would do,
Why
what we would
isn't-
do is we
why
would
isn't the
eliminate,
R1
if everybody
grandfathered
got on
in?
board, we would eliminate these two units right here, so we would bring it down to 10.
I was-
This would just become a
It
parking
was
space.
R1 and
But
it was to stay
I have
R1 and
driven down
somebody's
here. I have
changed.
seen the
I've
Friary
told
when
them.
it's and there hasn't been a lot of cars. But 10 cars to park out here in that massive, right next to the tree, it's not a lot, that's just not a lot. And they're not gonna be coming in and out of here, they're coming here to enjoy the property or to drive to the beach and stay all day. So it's not like the people that have jobs and you guys coming in and out all day and going to the store. That's not gonna happen. They're gonna be here and they're gonna wanna stay here, drink coffee out here, go out to the dock and relax. That's the
Where
whole
are you gonna build
idea.
this?
Across the street, he wants to build that on the.
That's what we wanna do across the street.
Well, then how are you gonna park?
Park right here.
so
we
for-
either
Where we're
we either-
parked.
So,
In the driveway in the front end.
do you follow
So
me?
you're taking the
We would eliminate these two units right here, so we can have adequate parking off the street, like she mentioned. It's gotta be off the street. So we would utilize this side of that beautiful tree that we are gonna preserve. We would have our parking right here. We wanna preserve all of this property. And
So
this is the pathway for us to be able to do that. To be able to at least come in here and do 10 units and to just uphold the beauty of this property. I mean, you're gonna wanna, if you have family that come in town, I promise you when I get done with this, you're gonna probably want them to come stay during Christmas if you need
Well, anything to get him out of
space.
my house, yeah.
I have a question.
Finally got a little humor, thank you.
It sounds like you're asking for a compromise from the neighbors. It sounds like you're saying.
I wanna work with
I
you,
won't
that's what I'm
touch
trying to hear, I'm here to work with you and to tell you what I'm doing and not come in here like other developers and just try to ramrod my agenda. I'm not gonna do that.
Okay,
I wanna become,
But you've mentioned other people that want to buy this property, so I want to make sure I'm understanding. You're saying that if we don't agree to the 10 units on the other side of the street, you're selling this place to be built up.
I'm not saying, I haven't said
You
that.
didn't say that.
Right,
I didn't
that's,
say
what,
that.
that's what I interpreted. I'm asking.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that at all.
Okay.
What I'm trying to do here today is I'm trying to get you guys to look at I'm looking at your side and I understand nobody likes change. I don't like change. There's some, I live in East Pensacola Heights. There's a lot of activity going on there. I don't like it. I don't know the reason why I don't like it is because I don't know what's going on. And that's why I'm here to tell you today this is what I would like to do, and I want you to get on board. I do not want to come, one of my options is to come in here. It's just a business decision. If you guys won't work with me on this, and we give and take, minimize my impact over here, do very high end. This is not, we're talking at $400 a foot. These are 2,700 square feet. The architect you see is very expensive. So this is going to be very high end. It's going to be very attractive, and it's going to eliminate all of the traffic off Hickory Shores and divert it back here, okay, to these 10 beautiful homes. Nothing will happen here. Period. The only thing that will happen here is what you see over there, is to renovate those 6, these 5 right here, to invite families and to have very strict guidelines. And you can go on Airbnb and look at this. I'd be glad, and I'd love to sit down with you again and show. Yeah, been there, done that. So you can mandate, and I will have people that live on site that will not allow anything that's unacceptable.
Now,
Is it kitchenette?
Cook, no, I'm not in the food and beverage business. Really, that building over there is just it just doesn't function, and it's in very, very poor shape.
So you won't be utilizing the kitchen, is that what we're saying?
Yes, absolutely.
So they can't cook in their rooms or?
No, you can't cook. There's no cooking in the
If it's a
room.
bed and breakfast, it has to be a breakfast facility. I mean, it could be Cheerios, but you know, there's gotta be.
Well, if you'll walk, there's a beautiful room at the end of it.
Yes.
That guy just came out of it. If you've
Right.
been in there, I'd like for that to be a day room, have a TV, watch the news, cook a bagel, have a cup of coffee, step out on the porch. I honestly, I understand. I'm the developer.
2,700 foot housing that you're talking about, is that the medium dense housing? Or is that a detached housing?
No, it's
what you see right. Did you get it? Did you get the brochure?
I got some
So,
mail
speaking
today.
of this right here.
Yeah.
Are there
Is
any
this
more
just an
pictures?
example of what it's going to look like?
No, that is the style that we're going for.
Style, so this is not an accurate representation.
Well, see, the problem
there.
So commercial looking.
This is what we want to put there.
Okay, well,
3 stories?
the reason I ask is because
I thought you said this was
See, that's
an
the problem. That's the only thing
example.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's my issue, but you need to.
I get in. Good call. Good, very perceptive.
But you need to update this and show us
It's
what
bad
you're
not to
selling,
trust
what the
people.
road signs
We can get other renderings.
Well, I don't like that
What I can do is
entrance.
maybe
It's right in front of
maybe get a
my
little
house.
website or something that y'all can go and look at these renderings.
I have a question for you too.
Excuse me,
I'm sorry.
we have another one over here. What are you taking to the county to present? Because you're showing us 12 units, you're talking about taking it down to 10. If you sell the 12 units to the county, we're gonna expect to see 12 units.
That's
We're
a
not
very
gonna
good
see-
point.
I love that
We're
point.
not
It's very
gonna see 10
astute. I
units
love
here
it.
if you sell 12 to the county.
Go ahead.
Yeah, if I can clarify something just very quick for the people in the back, or people who are walking in. I'm just gonna go back to the very beginning. Mr. Dunnam and his partner own this property now, and the parking lot across the street with the gorgeous tree that will stay there, and the commercial building on the other side. What he would like to do with this property is leave it exactly the way it is, upgrade 10 or 11 of the units, and rent that out to vacationers to the area. What we would like to do on the parking lot property is build townhomes, and realizing that we need parking space available for our renters on this site, that's going to take up these 2 spaces. We'll have a little park area around the oak tree, so we save that oak tree. And then there will be 10 very high-end townhomes on that property.
How many
Now,
floors?
let me, okay, hold on just a minute. Let me finish what I'm saying.
Let me follow
No.
up the point I'm trying to make.
Well, if
If
you
you're
can
gonna
have
have 10 townhomes, that's what we want to see you take to the county.
I
We don't
understand.
want to see 12.
Yes. Let me say what the next step is then. The reason that we want to tell you what we want to do with the properties is because the next step that we have to go through, of course, is the zoning board. Yes. The property across the street is zoned for single-family homes. R1.
How many acres is that?
It's about 2.5. R1 does not allow townhomes. And we would like to do townhomes on that
I
site.
know.
That's the question. Why
So-
can't you do single-family housing?
Because it doesn't make any, financially, it doesn't make
Because
sense.
of the money.
Yeah,
So then what
absolutely.
we're really talking about here is money. That's what you're saying, is that this is a financial decision on your part, that you want to go build R3 housing on this area next door, and, you know, the only reason you want to build R3 is because it's going to make you more money in your pocket.
Or
I'm
anything
absolutely,
R2.
I am absolutely motivated by money, just like everybody else here. We all have to make a living. This is
How,
how I make
how
my
is
living.
this gonna affect if we have to sell our house with all that
Knowing
thing?
that the only way you could financially get out of this is to turn it into R3 and go put townhomes on it.
No, I can build 18 units here. That's how I can financially get out of the crack of it. That's exactly how I can
You
do it.
could, and you know, that is an option for you.
It is.
This can be very expensive to go do that, because by the time that you go deal with, because you couldn't at that point easily put all your traffic on the other side as far as the parking and everything else. It's possible, but you know, that's going to imply if you're really good at that.
I've been doing this for a while. I know how to do it. I do know how to do it. Okay. What I'm trying to do, I don't want to get into defensive mode. What I'm trying to do is to minimize the impact on the neighborhood. Really.
Well, it's gonna be a huge impact. I mean, with this monster thing, it's gonna be a huge impact.
Yeah, hold on just a minute. Let me
It's-
finish
I
what
don't
I
want
was.
to do it though, man.
Yeah, let me say what I want to do.
This, you don't want,
Let me finish
This
what
would
I
be
was
a
saying
huge
about the
impact.
process.
Not this.
Yeah, let me finish what I was going to say about the process. For us to accomplish the goal of leaving this the way it is, so it does not impact the neighbors, and for it to make financial sense to the person who invested in this property quite a little bit, is to do 10 townhomes on this site, very high-end townhomes, close to $1 million townhomes. that
Over
will-
$1 million.
Over $1 million townhomes. Each.
And they're 3 stories?
They are. They all have elevators. They're all. And
They'll
what
have
I'd like.
elevators.
I'm just asking.
2 or
they're
3
3
stories.
Right.
They're limited to, yeah.
Well, the picture
Yeah.
shows us 3 stories. Is this what you're doing?
Right.
So it'll be
That's too
3
high.
They don't know
story,
what they're doing.
It's too high.
two units with 5 each. And so the price of those will maintain or increase your property values. It won't.
oh, no, no,
We're using our
no.
home
We
That's
can,
not-
we can
that's not-
solve it, turn it
Okay, so
around.
are we clear then? Is everybody clear that these are 2 separate things? We want to share with you what our desire is to do here. And then we want to let you know that next month, the zoning board and the Board of County Commissioners will be considering a rezoning for the property across the street. And this is what we'd like to do there, with the access on our private road that we're going to put in along the east side of the
But why do
property.
you have an exit onto Hickory Shores Boulevard here?
There's no exit there.
That's for the
But that's-
parking
it will
for
stop
here.
here. That'll be for the parking for here. And to your point over here, sir, we will revise this before the zoning board meeting.
I'm sure.
So it shows exactly, it shows the 10 units and shows the parking area. So we'll do that. Okay, this lady has a question here.
It's what's on that paper, ma'am.
What are you, okay,
Yes, ma'am.
how much are you gonna be charging for these rooms? Gives us an idea what kind of clientele you're gonna have and who is coming into our
That's a good
neighborhood.
point.
That's a good point. I mean, behind my house, the Airbnb that I have at my house right now, I'm getting $230 a night. So I don't think anybody's going to come in here. Most people can't afford $230. The people that you're referring to can't afford that.
People can.
I mean, listen, I try to consider myself a responsible developer. I do not want to come in here and disturb this property. I was never going to cut that tree down. I'm just not that kind of
It's a
guy.
heritage oak.
Huh?
It's a heritage oak.
Well, I know it is, but everything can be mitigated and
I know,
permitted now. Trust me.
$10,000. I know, I got it
You know,
all.
I've been in
But
this
he's
business a
never
long
wanted
time,
to
and I don't want, that's the kind, I'm just
I got
trying to
it.
tell you, I know you don't believe it because you think every developer's a snake, but I'm not. So what I want to do is to not disturb your neighborhood. I want to come in here, renovate this, and minimize my impact. If another developer would come in here and smash this place from corner to corner, and
Not necessarily. Has Ms. Cato by any chance informed you about the recent Beechwood that got shut down?
I don't know anything about Beechwood, sir.
Ask her about that.
He's talking about this property.
Oh, I know. I was the one that showed up at the meeting. I spoke to you. You had a meeting about Beechwood, and we got it shut down. All right, and we also got shut down his notes up here the same day. They wanted to-
And you can do that, you can shut it all down, all right, if you want.
Beechwood didn't go to the board of county.
I know.
It wasn't.
The first go around, and then you rescinded it the second time. I was here at both
Yeah.
meetings.
But
What you got there?
the
Go ahead.
I have some
Let's go back
questions.
to individual questions. So, yes.
I don't know if it's a question for you or a question for the group or whatever, but a few years ago, something came up about Hidden Oaks, which is right there in that.
Was gonna be my question.
About rezoning it, and that was squashed. They said, no, it can only be, single
R1.
family, right. So my question or my thought is, if this rezoning occurs, then is that not going to make it more likely that the county is going to say, oh, well, that stuff is there, so let's rezone that, and now we've got more stuff.
Yeah, that was gonna
I
be
don't
my
know.
question too.
I can only speak for this property
Right,
and this
I know that
design.
you can't answer
But
that.
it sets the precedent.
Understand.
A couple of questions for the developer. I read in the information about going, using this property that within a year you would have to get rid of the septic tank system and tie into the main. Is that correct?
It's already tied in.
It's already
It's
tied
already
in.
tied
It's
in.
already
Okay,
tied in,
second
yeah.
question was, at this property, or the property across the street, how will you deal with the water and the water containment
Right.
fenced in area? Where will you put that on that map? Because you're required to do that.
Stormwater?
No, a retention pond.
The engineer will design all that.
But where's it gonna go? That's what my question
It'll
is.
probably go in here, somewhere in here, around the tree area. It's minimal. I will have very little stormwater retention here. The percolation rate here is unbelievable.
Yeah, but there are requirements that the county.
I'm very familiar with those
Yeah,
requirements.
right.
And they're going to
You're
design
right.
it in a way that looks nice.
Yeah.
That road floods, so just please. take
This will
that
probably
into
this will
consideration.
probably
Yes.
have to handle that water, and
Yeah,
it won't
this
flood
will
as much.
flood
On both
right in
sides.
front of my house.
I have a comment.
Let me get
Because we live right across the street, so
Yes,
half
ma'am.
these people won't even be impacted.
right.
I will.
Right. So let's
We
talk.
all
At
will.
any rate, how high are you gonna raise the ground so people on the street, because I'm not really opposed to this, if it's anything like in Gulf Breeze. And that's what I wanna see.
You keep saying that's what's happening.
But you,
This
are
is
we-
right in front of my
you got
house.
the point of
Right in
reference?
front of my house.
Well, would you rather have driveways all up and down Hickory Shores or just one driveway?
That, you keep saying this is not gonna affect anybody, yeah, it is. There's a whole bunch of us that live
Well-
right here, and I live right there.
Clearly, people are going to be affected. That's just life.
Yeah, but you keep saying, oh, look, it's a private drive, no, it's not, it's right in front of my house.
So
Okay.
there'll be one
Literally.
instead of a lot of driveways along
And there's
that
other
road.
people that live down that
We don't
road.
want 10 driveways, we want one.
Hey, Kevin,
Yes.
is there a dedicated sewer line just for this property coming from the highway?
The sewer's interesting down here. It stops right over here, and Gulf Breeze has I think a 4-inch line on this side, and it goes on your side of the street up
That's
Hickory
on my
Shore.
side, okay.
It is. And the Beacon and the other building, our other building are tied into it. But it's very strange that Midway and Gulf,
property value.
Is it big enough to
That's gonna kill it.
yes, it would be.
when I build on my lot, then am I gonna have to tap into the sewer?
No, you're on
Is it a
septic.
big enough line that, or do I do my
If
own
I was
septic?
you, I would want to, but I don't
I don't
know.
want the monthly bill, it's just gonna be me on a septic tank, I'd rather have the septic.
They won't, I don't think they can force you to do that, but they can? They'll pay for it?
Oh, no, then they can pay for
I
it.
don't think they can force you to pay.
Yes, they can, I've heard they make it.
Want to do anything. No. We're not building commercial. No. This is single family. Single family. Attached single family.
But you see this up and down highway.
Ma'am, not this. You don't see this down there. What D.R. Horton's doing. This is not that. This is $400 a foot property. It's not that stuff they're doing up the street. I
It's
understand.
not in keeping with the neighborhood. You're gonna put a 3-story building that's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. If it was 2 stories, I'd go,
If it was if the property was
I'd
limited.
be fine with 2 stories, not 3.
Is that the roof?
For me, I would be okay with 2 stories.
Yeah,
Don't
no
like
way of 3.
So if we could go in and do twos.
I don't want 2 stories, I don't want any.
So now we're talking, so.
I want to hear about it.
R3, okay.
No, R2. That's a mistake. Becky, would you correct that?
It's gonna be R2. I'm gonna call the county tomorrow
Okay,
and make
just,
sure they have that.
okay,
correct.
so just like you're
not right.
gonna correct
R2.
your
Gonna
plan.
correct the picture.
Okay, you got 2 things on you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this property. In order for this to be in bread and breakfast, this has to be rezoned to HCD or some other zoning. It cannot be R3. What are your plans for that? When are you gonna present that?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not familiar with
It's all
that.
right here.
Okay, well then talk to
Yeah.
Beckie
It
Cato.
does-
That's
it-
what she does
yeah.
for a living.
Well, but she hasn't done her homework yet.
Okay,
Well,
then y'all get it
I
together.
do know that the property is zoned for residential use.
But
We
not
have-
bed and
we have-
breakfast.
The state preempts counties from regulating bed and breakfast. So the zoning code does not say anything about bed and
Okay,
breakfast.
so when are you gonna present that?
It's not even we're not presenting that. We're presenting what's across the street, and
Okay,
we're
so
trying to
why-
get everybody to get
We're
on
just
board
sharing
here.
that information
All right,
with you.
so you're gonna try to sell us on that before then you tell us what you're gonna do with this.
We're
I'm telling you, I've already talked,
exactly.
and you haven't listened. We
No,
don't want to do
I have
anything.
listened.
We don't want to do anything with this property except to rent. Listen
I
to me.
hear bullshit when I hear that.
Okay, well then,
Well,
you know,
I'm sorry.
what do you think I'm doing
But-
over here right now?
Yeah, the reason
Okay, yeah,
that we
you're
wanted.
fixing up the rooms, but how are you gonna do that if it's not zoned properly?
It is done properly. I'm telling you it is.
How?
It's-
This HC, I've
The-
looked in the
the-
county.
Okay,
It's not-
so what other questions you have? We're gonna address the zoning. Becky will do that. We're pretty sure we know what we're doing. We're R3 here. We know what we can do here. We know everything that we can do here, which is 18 units. We do not want to do that.
We don't want you to do it either.
Okay, good. So we're talking the same language. We don't want to do that. So now we're in agreement. What we want to do is to renovate these 11 rooms and just let this be what it is. Okay? Not touch it. Nothing. Other developers will come in here and level it from corner to corner. I promise you. Okay? It's a fact. And they would go up 50 feet. I don't want to do that. Okay? I don't want to do that. But what I do want to do is make a living. Okay? I want to eliminate these 2 units right here. Keep the tree, right? Does everybody see that? Keep the tree and do 10 units. That's not much. I'm not asking a lot. They're 30 feet wide, and we can talk about the height if somebody's got a problem with the height.
Yeah,
I'm easy to work with.
I'd be fine with 2 stories rather
Okay.
than 3. I'm curious what the group
Okay,
thinks.
now we're negotiating. That's great. Does that make everybody happy? Let's work together, though.
Well, you're not gonna make everybody happy.
Well, then nobody ever can be happy, and that's just the way life is,
So
and
you
that's
wanna put
okay.
10 townhouses on a property that you could put 9 single-family houses on.
9 single family. How are you going to get 9 single families on
4
there?
per acre.
What are you going to do? Are they going to be 10 feet wide, 20 feet wide?
I don't know, you're the developer. You
Well,
tell me.
I'm telling you, I don't know what you're talking
So
about.
why are you going from 9 to 10? I'm just.
How can you get
You got
how can you
2
get 9 single family houses in here when I'm
That's-
showing you 10 right here, but they're together?
R1.
How are you going to divide
Or-
that?
It's your call. You talk to your developer.
No, I know I do know that part of it. I do know that part.
What is the width and the length of that property?
Say that question again.
The width and the length of this property here, what is that?
This one here?
No, the one in your drawing.
You told us they're gonna be 30 feet wide, but what's the length and width of the lot?
They're 30 feet. The lots are 30 feet wide.
So-
They're all written.
No. The overall,
Overall,
2.5 acre lot.
20
What
feet
is
wide.
that?
Deep.
Oh, the depth of this property is about 250 feet deep. 200. This property right here, and it's pretty much the same all the way to that commercial building. It's about 260 feet.
Okay, so it's
63, I think.
260 feet deep, I'm sorry, I said the wrong word. And then the other measurement was what?
This is about 600. The depth, I mean, the length of this is probably over about right at 600 feet.
The
I
reason I
think.
ask is because you said you don't know how you put 9 single family homes there, and I was trying to think it through.
So how high
Tough
would
one.
you have to build up the land itself?
I don't think I have to build up. I mean, the thing about building up is it costs money. I don't want to do that on stem walls. There's no reason to do it. But there will be a pad, a typical pad that every house has. So I'd say it probably come a foot, 2 foot off the ground, something like that. Yeah.
Can I ask about
2
parking?
foot, yeah. 2 foot, that's gonna put a lot of water on
Yeah,
it.
I'm not, actually it does.
No, this is, I'm listen, I'm trying to build retirement income and that's what I see it. I'm not, no, I've got financing.
Sufficient parking.
Well, I bought this property.
Well, that's his park, that's gonna be a.
That's what I did for a living.
Okay.
Well, I mean, everybody can sell their property at any given
I
time.
thought it was
You
just
know,
gonna
of course.
be more for the retention.
So what I'm trying to get you to do is to try to see that, and you know, I understand why you don't know who I am. I can understand. I'm just another developer, but really think tonight, between now and that time, about really what you want here. If you deal with me, I'm telling you exactly what I'm going to do. Exactly what I'm going to do. If I sell it to somebody else, or if I get a hospital company to come in here from South Florida, I don't know what kind of clientele they're going to bring in here. Just think about it. It doesn't have to be alcohol and drugs. It might be some other mental illness. I don't think you want that in this neighborhood. I don't want it. I don't want it. I want to return it to what it was in the very beginning. It was a place for people to come and retreat. Friars, monks. That's what I want the theme to be here for people, individuals or couples, to come here and relax. And I hope you'll invite your family when they come for the holidays, because it's going to be beautiful. This is a beautiful piece of property. It doesn't need to be touched. It needs to be preserved. And I'm all about that. That's why I'm preserving that. I'm not mitigating anything. I'm not getting permits to cut down trees and any of that shit. I'm not. This is exactly what I want to do.
Space here.
Pardon me?
What about a community space here? Something accessible
This whole place will be not to the public.
to the residents in the area.
No. This is a private piece of property. You can't come down here and no. You can come.
Well, if you offered something like yoga classes or.
That's a great. Now we're thinking out of the box. I love that idea. That works.
So
we have actually talked. There are going to be services that we want to do. Yoga, massage, all of those things that can just make us stay wonderful. This is a retreat, a place to reset and relax.
Wait a minute. We're changing the subject. We're over on this and what this means for is for that over there across the street.
But they tie in together. They very seriously tie in together, and you need to understand.
Can I make one statement here?
Yep.
If you went up and down the street and said you wanted $1 million for each one of those townhouses to finance this, isn't that what you said?
I don't have to. I didn't talk about my finances to anybody. I don't have to have finances.
You said there were going to be $1 million houses.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay, you can go down the street and buy houses all day for $1 million on the water.
They're on the water.
On the water.
Right. Yeah, they are.
So why would somebody come over here and pay $1 million for a place out here?
Are you familiar with the real estate market right now? Are you?
I probably got more land than you do.
Well, you might have. Maybe I can buy it.
I don't sell. I do buy.
Okay, great. Great.
Are you the one that has the natural property? Was that you?
The retention pond, I'm still worried.
There's
about
no. So you're thinking about a subdivision. You know, when you go into a subdivision, you have to create these retention ponds. You don't have to do that when you're doing.
I'm worried about
There's no.
the elevation of these ponds.
I understand this part of the business. I do understand.
Pushing the water
Off on somebody.
off on somebody else.
No, there'll be percolation. And if you guys recall, there is a subdivision back here. Remember, it's abandoned. There's also a retention pond back here, and there's an easement. If we have to discharge, which I don't think we will, we will probably retain, not detain, all of our water on site because the percolation is incredible here. It's all sand. So I'm not. There's not going to. I don't even think I'll have to pop off.
Can I add something in that real quick? For stormwater, when you're in San Luis County, when you're doing a townhome development, you have to meet the commercial stormwater standards. And something I like about working with Kevin is he's actually hired an architect to be part of the team, and not just an engineer, which is a good combination, and you don't usually get that. So the architect will make sure that stormwater will blend in nicely and actually can be incorporated into that green space around the park. You've seen that done at Seaside, whether or not you realize it or not. There's a way to do it that looks nice. So they will be able to, they'll be required to meet those
You won't even know it's there.
Now, if you were to do single-family homes, another thing you can do in Santa Rosa County, and what's done often with these long strips of land that's on a public roadway, is you can go in and just divide it. It's called via meets and bounds. You can just go ahead and have a surveyor mark off the lots. When you do meets and bounds, they have to be 70 feet wide. So he could go in now, have a surveyor mark off 70-foot wide lots along the roadway.
All the way down, all the
and
way
then
down.
sell the lots
All
to
of
a
it.
builder, which of course would be fine. The builder would come in and build the house. And in those circumstances, they don't have to meet the same requirements, and they don't have to do it in a way that's really coordinated. So one thing I like about townhomes is it does a better job of handling stormwater than single family.
And traffic.
And also over time, it's managed as a unit. And so you don't have lots of individual people doing things to their property that change the way the water flows. And so that's very helpful in those areas as well.
HOA, yeah.
I'm sorry, I interrupted him. He was still.
Yeah, here's my objection right here. You get that change from R1 right there. The guy next door over there is going to change his. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm standing. You can do anything you want to over there with R1, whatever you can build on there.
And I can do anything I want to here? You're okay with that?
You can, yeah. Because there's no guarantee that anything's gonna happen here.
Okay.
But that's R1 over there. As soon as you get it changed, the guy next door, that big place down there is gonna be R1, and now it's gonna be a traffic jam trying to get into my house. Okay?
Is there
And
any
nobody's gonna pay $1 million for that whenever they can go 3 doors down there and buy a nice lot, 3 lot on the water for $750.
I want to make one more statement
Go
for
right
just a
ahead.
second here.
Yeah.
You mentioned that, what you're trying to sell here and what you're trying to say is that this thing will be homogeneous and it would look nice and it would tie together and it would all go together. And you're somewhat deriding this concept of we have different styles of homes on different lots and everything. I don't know if you've driven down Hickory Shores Road, but the actual beauty of this neighborhood is the fact that we have different houses on different lots, and they're all very different, and it's all R1, and most of them on decent sized lots. And there's none of this stripped housing business is going on, and that's actually the beauty of the neighborhood. So
And I was referring to the way and I didn't mean to. I like that about I'm so sorry. I like that about my neighborhood is that it's lots of different types of homes. But what I was thinking more about, because we've seen so many times in residential single home subdivisions, whether they're in a big subdivision or just stripped along the road like that, is when the individual homeowner owns it, they're going to make changes to the way the property's graded oftentimes. Or if initially it was laid out to make the water go exactly where it's supposed to go, it's not unusual for the second owner to not know that was the rules and go in and decide to make a wonderful, beautiful change to their front yard, but now suddenly the water's not going where it's supposed to go, or we see that in the backyards. And so that's something I like about townhomes, is it allows for the joint management of that stormwater. I promise you, I am in absolute agreement with you on that.
So will you still have an HOA?
Okay.
This guy's been wanting to ask a question for a while.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
This ties in with the water
good.
control, and I see a lot of developers in this area now built up with clay, the foundation of their homes. And what that does is it screws everybody else around it because it runs off. It doesn't permeate like you've been talking about. It stays on that clay. So is that your intention to build up?
No, absolutely not. That just costs more money. What's the point of building up? I don't get that.
Have you done a soil analysis to see
This is all, the geotech's been done on all this property.
So
corner to
that
corner.
sand that you're saying is built on can support that kind of building?
Absolutely. I mean, there'll be,
Just asking.
I've already talked to my engineer about it. I mean, you're not even gonna notice stormwater right there. And it's certainly not gonna create more, if anything, it will probably pull water off Hickory Shores that you were talking about, flooding. We'll probably pull water off that and into our system.
And it's also on Hickory Shores Road. It's worse on Hickory Shores Road than it is on Boulevard than it is on Road.
Boulevard's bad.
It's terrible the way it flows.
On the one coming from 98, right now.
Yeah, it's bad. But the one on the Boulevard
is worse.
It's worse, much worse.
Yeah, you can't drive through it after a storm. You have to find another way to get out.
Yeah. So
Well,
that
we
box
wouldn't
us
be
in.
impacting the boulevard. This is obviously, as you know, would be on the road.
Yeah, it's right there. I mean, it's.
Well, but we're
within
gonna
feet.
eliminate this, okay? We're gonna keep the tree in the park. We're just gonna do the 10 units right
And the
here.
green on that
And
is
two
going to
stories.
be grass or what is
Oh,
it?
all of this is gonna be incredibly landscaped.
Okay,
So
we're
when
not
you're
talking
driving
about
down
paving the
Hickory
whole
Shores.
area. It'll have-
You
Oh,
can't, you have
man,
to have green
no.
space.
I don't want,
Is this Ocean Breeze here?
this is a non-existing road that we're gonna build,
Okay, 'cause
just a
I'm
little
on
driveway
this
back
road.
here,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So you won't, the idea
So
is
the
to eliminate driveways from
But what's
the
to keep-
traffic.
What's to keep the people from parking on the road in front of those houses?
Nothing.
Does anybody park on the road?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, then they, call them, have them towed. I don't think these people are gonna wanna park on the
I
road
don't
when
know.
they have a
The road
garage
is
in the back.
narrow.
If we could have
isn't
them
it?
towed, we'd have everything towed in front of this place here a half a dozen times where they block the road every night.
It's not often though. I mean, once in a while, people have parties over
Have-
here.
Well, it was single family.
But that was my.
That's why I have a big driveway. Everybody parks off my driveway. Yeah, I got
So
it.
you
I
guys-
Right, and couldn't you, right?
My driveway.
Okay.
It was gonna be down there for all of these units?
All back behind them. There'll be no parking on the road, back, it all will be back behind, you won't be able to see it.
Ocean Breeze is like.
I will.
Yeah, there's an abandoned subdivision that somebody
Okay, so
left.
this makes more sense.
Yeah.
You're building on your road.
And so my hunch is there's a stormwater pond back here. Yeah, and it's probably not being used. Probably pop off here, and they might even want me to do that to relieve some of the pressure off.
You know, that's.
Engineers do that.
That pond that you're just talking about, it actually empties out into what do they call
Beaver
that?
Creek?
No, towards the
Discharges
to
where?
the south. What do you call that? The intercoastal, that area down the water.
Yeah.
On the sound. Thank you.
Everything
Remember that.
eventually
But
goes
that
to the
it's
sound,
also got
unfortunately.
problems. I know that the county has been asked to address it, and the HOAs for that area have been asked to address it, but it's not draining.
Huh,
That's
well, they got a problem.
That's a problem. So if
They got
you
a
think
problem.
yours can drain into that, then you got a problem.
No, I don't, see, mine doesn't have to go anywhere, because it's all
Okay.
gonna be on site. It's gonna be retained.
Okay.
Have you looked at the houses up on Cherokee Acres? Do you know where Cherokee is?
No, ma'am, I
Well,
don't.
it's, when you come in off 98, the first road, you can turn to your left. Go
Okay.
down there, you're in Hickory Shores,
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
Cherokee Acres.
Yes, ma'am.
And they took and built they're nice looking little houses,
Mm-hmm.
they're close together. You could make 2-story, and you could probably put 8 in there. And that would blend in, where this is,
It doesn't blend.
it's,
Is anybody that objects to R1 when it's already zoned right here? Is that what we're here for tonight?
no, it is not R1.
No, that's R3. That's
No, this is R3, we wanna
We're
change
talking
that to
about what's on the
R2.
map, not this right here.
Right,
All we here for tonight is the property across the street.
That's
Doesn't have
correct.
anything to do with this. Does anybody objects to that, stay in R1 over there?
You
Or
can't
whatever
make
it's legal.
R1
It is already R1.
it's already R1.
That's right.
But he's just
Anybody
saying,
objects to
who's
him building what's legal
agree
over
with
there?
it?
No,
On
not
R1, it's all residential, right?